Chapter 12, Chainline. Here we will discuss what chainline is, being cross-chained, and this will all be illustrated with some informative graphics. There's an important concept called chainline, and the chainline has to do with how parallel the chain is to the frame of the bike, or what is the relationship between the gears in the back and the gears in the front. And that, of course, means that if I'm in the small chain ring in the front, I should be in one of my inner cogs in the back. Conversely, if I'm in my big chain ring in the front, I should be in one of my outer or higher gears in the back. These are the two worst cross-chain situations, and we'll look at each of those individually. In this first situation, my chain in the front is in the small chain ring, and in the back it's in the small cog. Let's look at this part right here and expand that into a little graphic. In our graphic, that represents the frame of the bike, and here's my small chain ring and large chain ring, and in the cassette there's the large cog and there's the small cog. Now that would give us an ideal center line like that, which would be parallel to the frame of the bike. But my chain is in this situation. It's in the small chain ring in the front and in the small cog in the back, which means that my chain is cross-chained like that. And when I pedal, then I put a forward force on the chain, and that causes a side force right there on the chain coming off the small cog, and it tries to pull the chain off the small cog. A similar force tries to pull the chain off the chain ring. In this opposite situation, my chain is in the large chain ring in the front and in the large cog in the back. Once again, let's look at that part there and expand that into a graphic. In a similar graphic, there's the frame of the bike, the small chain ring, the large chain ring, the large cog, and the small cog. My ideal center line of the chain, which would be parallel to the frame of the bike, but my chain is actually running between the large chain ring and the large cog, and will look like this. When I pedal, I put a forward force on the chain, and that will cause the chain to try to be pulled sideways off the large cog. A force also tries to pull the chain off the big chain ring. In both of these situations where we have deviated from the perfect chain line, and the tendency is there for the chain to pull off the gears, that tendency is exacerbated by wearing of the chain rings, the cassette, or the chains themselves. For optimal shifting, try to avoid those severe cross-chain situations.